Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is First Impressions Friday and we are going to be looking at this little gizmo. So this is an electric pencil sharpener. I have been using it and it does work quite well. This is done by TaskBiiz. It is battery powered as well as USB powered. So you can plug it into a USB port and plug it right in. There is a mechanism inside of it, in the mechanics of it, that will auto stop it because of the dual power. So if you have batteries in it, don't plug it in. Now we're going to test it both on availability, like how it sharpens, as well as easy emptying and that sort of thing. And I forgot to grab my empty bin. Hold on one second. Let me grab my empty bin so that I can dump it out, because I don't want shards all over my desk. And then we're going to test, how well the point of the pencil is and that sort of thing. Make sure that it doesn't damage the pencil and things like that. So this has the ability to go from very sharp to a duller, blunter point. And I was amazed when I was using this. I was able to sharpen this pencil. I was able to actually put this pencil in and sharpen it. Isn't that amazing? It is able to sharpen really, really short pencils, which is fantastic. One thing that I can't stand is when I can't use a pencil because it's too short. So that gives us the ability to sharpen those shorter pencils. So I'm going to dump this out. So as you can see, it's got a mechanism in there that turns this blade. Now, I've never used a pencil sharpener like this. I've used the Helix ones and that sort of thing, the electric Helix ones and that sort of thing. But I have not ever used one that has a blade that looks like a regular pencil sharpener. Now, it does have a screw here, so if you can find a blade that is the same, you might be able to replace the blade. The instructions tell you how to take this blade itself, the whole mechanism out, and how to put it back in. However, they don't sell replacement blades. Those are not available as of yet, and I don't know if they ever will be. So that's one of the cons to it. The pro is that there are replacement blades through other manufacturers that may be available that may fit. It does hold batteries in here, so it takes 2 AA batteries. Okay, so let's play with this thing. Let's put it all the way to the tightest, sharpest point, and then we'll grab one of our least favorite pencils here. So I am not a huge fan of these pencils, but for this purpose, we'll sacrifice a few. So I'm going to break this pencil. As you can see, it's completely broken. There's no point. It actually broke down into the barrel. So as you can see, there is no auto stop. I could probably push this pencil all the way through, but it gives a really good point. Now, the one thing that I have noticed is if you put pressure on it, it will do that. However, if you just hold the pencil, again, I'm just breaking off the tip, and again, it broke all the way inside. So there is no tip here for it to sharpen at all. But I have found that if you just hold it, it will stop. At a nice point. So it does sharpen them to a really nice point. Now, you do have to be careful when you're sharpening a pencil. I have issues. Again, I'm going to break the pencil. I know, horrible, horrible. And again, it broke all the way inside. I'm not trying to break the pencil all the way inside, but these pencils are not one of my favorites, so I'm not too worried about it. But the one thing that I will say is that if you have tendencies to lose control of your hand, like for me, for example, I have issues with arthritis, and I can't hold the pencil really tight all the time. So if you don't hold the pencil really tight and you just put it in, it's going to turn. But you have to be able to hold that pencil still, otherwise it will turn on you. Another way that you can hold this is hold it in your hand and hold the pencil this way. It gives you a lot more control on the pencil itself. All right, so let's go up to the blunt area. So that's doing it with a really sharp point. So let's start on the blunt area. So again, we're going to snap the pencil, and it's completely, like there is no. And I'm going to hold it on the side because my hands are. So as you can see, it sharpens it to a blunt point. If you put it in longer, it of course will sharpen it longer. But you can get a blunt point on it, which is great if you enjoy those blunt points. But when you're using a pencil and you wear it down, let's see if I can find one that's worn down out of this set. If not, it's fine. I have other ones. So a lot of us use the Caran d'Ache and that sort of thing. So this one here is got a bit of a blunt point, and it will keep that blunt point but move the wood down. You can also put the pencil in and just turn the pencil. It will also sharpen it just slightly. So a lot of us use these chunky monkey pencils. So I have some Caran d'Ache and Derwents here. Here's the Derwent Black. And let's see which one is a sharp. I guess that one. I'm not going to sharpen ones that are already sharpened because I don't want to waste my pencils. Just saying. They do sharpen quite sharp. See, this one here is nice and flat. So this one's got a very blunt point. So we're going to turn it up to, let's turn it up halfway. And as you can see, it doesn't slide right in there, but you can definitely get it in there and get it sharp. Same with the Derwent. The Derwent slides in a little bit easier than the Caran d'Ache. And once again, nice and sharp. It doesn't take but one or two turns. See how blunt that one is? Get it in there. To get a nice sharp point. And that one was really blunt. So the shavings in it are the same shavings that you will get from using a hand-turned sharpener. So let's dump those out again. So that's on battery power. So let's try it on without the batteries. I just dropped the batteries everywhere, scared my dog. Oops. So we're going to plug this in. like so. So, like I said, AA batteries is all it takes. So we're just going to put those there. We're going to take another pencil. We're going to snap the pencil and nice and tight. Nice long point. So it makes a really, really sharp point. Now, it's not damaging the wood, which is great. It's sharpening very, very clean, which is awesome. Now let's try and see if we can get it to stop sharpening. So it does get to a point where it will stop sharpening when it's plugged in. As long as you're not pushing down on it and you're just holding the pencil. So there is the stop point. So it does do an auto stop when it's plugged in. Let's try again with the blunt. So this one here is fairly blunt. We want to keep it blunt. So we'll slide that in there. And it didn't keep it as blunt as I would have hoped. That was a little sharp. But it did auto stop, which is great. Running out of pencils in here. So it's all the way to the blunt. Yeah, it's pretty good. The point isn't pokey. So the difference between the points, as you can see, this one gets very, very, very sharp, where this one has a blunter end. So even though the wood is down just as far on the pencil, the tip itself is not as sharp. So that is the TaskBiiz electric pencil sharpener. It is battery powered. It is plug-inable. So if you want to just plug it in, don't have any batteries available, use the little cord. It comes with the little cord and everything else. I have sharpened a ton of pencils with this thing so far, and it still sharpens. So the blade is able to be used quite a bit. Like I went through this entire bucket of pencils and sharpened them all. Went through, broke them, resharpened them. Playing with it, trying to figure out how far down the pencil can be. And like I said, I was able to sharpen this little fella, which is down quite a ways. He's almost to the point where I'm not able to sharpen him because I can't get a hold of the end of it. However, if I put this into a pencil extender at the very tip, I would be able to sharpen this still. But yeah, like look how small that is. Like it's like itty bitty. So yeah, it is a really good sharpener, and I have not had any breakages. Like when I sharpen the pencil, sometimes when when I use my electric helix ones, sorry, I'm just trying to find another short pencil. I sharpen both ends of this, one with the blunt and one with the sharp, just to show you the two differences right on top of each other. So there's the sharp tip, which is all the way to the sharp end. And this one here is a blunter tip all the way to the blunt end. Now I did push this to see if it would auto stop, and it did auto stop as soon as this end hit that little auto stop button thing. Let's see, this one here. see, these ones here are a little bit thicker, but once it gets to the point, so as you can see here, I've got it nice and sharp. Once it gets to that point, if I put it back in and don't press on it, it won't turn back on. You have to press down on it, and basically all it does is spin. It doesn't actually cut. So that's cool. This one here, once it gets to a point, you can actually hear it when it gets to that point. It just stops cutting. Now, like I said, with some of the smaller pencils, such as the Starjoy Golds, you can hold it here, and if you push, you can literally push the whole pencil through. So as you can see, I was able to push that entire pencil through. So don't push down on it while you're using it. It will eat your pencil if you push. If you don't push on it, it won't eat your pencil. However, I just put an entire pencil through that because I was pushing on it. But if I sharpen things normally, if I use a proper pressure and a normal pressure to use the mechanism that's in it. See, there's a full-size pencil. Just put it in, push down a little bit, and hold the pencil. Don't push. Push enough to start the mechanism and hold the pencil. And it will just sharpen it perfectly. However, like I said, if you push down, it will continue sharpening. There's a little mechanism in the bottom of the sharpener, which I'll show you here, that pushes down and creates that movement. So there's a little tiny white, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. There's a little tiny white thing there. And the further down the pencil goes, the further it pushes it down. So if you push your pencil down, it will push that little button down. When that little button is pushed down, it activates the mechanism. If you continue to push that little button down, it will continue to sharpen your pencil and move that mechanism. Just blow the dust out. I have not had any problems with the sharpening bits getting into the mechanism. However, I do suggest if you open this, say you get a broken nib, say it breaks off in here, you got to take this out and just pop it out. Do not pop it out on this side. Turn this around and pop it out from this side, because this side here you will cut yourself. But every time you take this lid off, I suggest that you empty out your barrel, because your shavings go down into the mechanism. Alright, so let's see if we can color with some of these pencils now that they're nice and sharp. Because sometimes when you sharpen a pencil with a electric sharpener, I find that sometimes it'll break the lead down below where the wood is, and it just gets wiggly. So we'll see how well this sharpens. We're also going to see how tight, not tight, but how sharp the pencils are if they end up breaking very easily because they're so sharp. So this one here is on the blunter end of the sharp spectrum, and it's doing fairly well. No breakage. This paper is really nice. All right. Okay, so there's no breakage with that one, so let's try one of the Sharpener Farben. See if we can stay close to the same color here. These I sharpened the other day when I got this sharpener in, and it is holding that point. No wiggle, no snapping, no nothing. Now, if I was to put a heavy pressure on this, I may end up snapping a tip off because they are so sharp. But for this coloring, I'm not getting a tip break. So I'm going to finish this umbrella and then we'll try a different color with a really, really sharp point on the other umbrella here. And I'm not too worried about the coloring of it. I will be going through and coloring each of these. I think I'm going to do that in August. All the way through. Because we're going to color each of these pictures with a different set of pencils that I have. And we'll see how many sets we can get through in the month. Depends upon work and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, that's in the future. That has nothing to do with the sharpener, so I'll leave it be. All right, so now we're going to find one that has a really, 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 really sharp point. This one here is very sharp. So we're going to use it back here where it's a little bit closer. I'm not getting any breakage. And I'm able to get into that very tight detail underneath the umbrella, next to the other umbrella. So I'm able to maintain that detail without going over it. With this point, which is great. Put some shadow in there. Maintain this detail. And there's a little tiny nib on the end of each area here of the umbrella before it. So that's what the detail that we're trying to maintain. We don't want to go over top of that detail or color into that detail. And having a really sharp point helps maintain that distance, maintain that ability to go right around it without leaving a huge amount of white spot, but giving the ability to get into that little tiny area. Now these pictures are very, very small, so it's a very good thing to have a very, very pointy pencil, a very sharp pencil. And this sharpener definitely does maintain that sharpness. Even after using the pencil a little bit, I'm not getting any breakage in the tip, even though it was as sharp as it was. Because sometimes when you sharpen a pencil, and you can end up over sharpening it a bit and have that really thin tip. And even though this did have a very, very fine, sharp point, it didn't fracture, which is awesome. Okay, So I have been able to color with them, both with the fine tip as well as a blunt tip. So I'm just going to grab the bluntest tip, which is, the Caran d'Ache. The Caran d'Ache is not one that usually fractures very easily when it's sharpened. So I'm not too concerned or too worried that the sharpener has damaged this pencil, but I like the color, so I wanted to use it. So in my opinion, under first impressions, I have been playing with it for a few days. Um, as far as a pencil sharpener goes, a pencil sharpener has its uses. The uses are, can it sharpen a pencil? Yes, it can sharpen a pencil. Does it sharpen the pencil nice and sharp? Yes, it does. Does it break the pencil? No. Can it be mobile? Can you take it with you? Yes, you can put batteries in it. You can definitely take it with you. It is small enough to fit in a coloring bag so that you can take that with you. And it does work very well just holding it. So you don't have to put it flat on a desk to use it. You can just hold on to it and hold on to your pencil, and it works very, very nicely for that. So yes, the versatility of it and the mobility of it is awesome. That's one of the great things about this product and one of the reasons why I agreed to review it for the company. Now, I will state this that the company did send me this sharpener and ask me to review it. The sharpener was sent to me free of charge in to receive a review. Um, However, that doesn't skew my visions or views of it, because of the fact that I just I always just give them the disclaimer the same as I give you. I will give a review. I will be 110% honest throughout my reviews. If I don't like something, I'm going to tell you I don't like it because you guys are most important to me. The companies and the product people. Um, if I don't like a product, I'm not gonna make them happy with it. So, um, does it sharpen pencils? Absolutely. So it did very well. It does live up to the fact that it does sharpen both with a plug-in or with battery power. Do not plug them in when you have batteries in it. The motor will fight with itself is the best way to explain that because of the fact that it has a built-in safety thing that doesn't allow it to have both things going at the same time. Um, is the blade replaceable? It does look like you can if you can find something to replace it with. However, this company does not have a replacement blade for this machine. Does it work just as well as a helix blade? Absolutely. It sharpens very, very clean through the wood. It does not rip, tear, or chip the wood. Um, the only thing I will suggest while you're using it on smaller, thinner pencils is make sure that you hold on to the pencil. Can you sharpen this square pencil with this? No, you cannot. You can, however, sharpen a hexagonal pencil with it. Let's grab a hexagonal here. Hold on a second. Oh, this one's nice and blunt. Oh, that one's even blunter. So we have my Caran d'Ache Pablo here, and it is a hexagonal pencil. And it will definitely sharpen a hexagonal pencil very easily, very cleanly. Um, will it sharpen a triangular pencil? I have a, let's see this one here. So I have sharpened this one here with it, and yes, it did sharpen it very, very nicely. It doesn't do really large pencils, so of course you're not going to get a chunky pencil in there beyond a Caran d'Ache. But not a lot of pencils are that we use in our daily coloring are much wider than the Caran d'Ache, other than the square pencils. And a square pencil will not fit in here. I have tried the square brute funers in here and they wouldn't fit. I think that's about it. The one thing again that I'm going to remind everyone of is that if you are sharpening a pencil, make sure that you don't constantly press, because if you push the pencil through, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up doing this. I did this on purpose to show you what would happen, um, so I'm not concerned about it. But if you take a pencil that's already sharpened, let's see, this one here is really sharp, and you put it in here, it's not going to activate because it's already sharp. However, if you put a blunt pencil in and you hold it down, it's going to keep on going. Because what you're doing is you're squishing, you're breaking off that tip and pushing down on that mechanism that makes it go. This is battery powered right now, and once you get past that point, it won't go. So again, once you've got a nice sharp pencil, if you put it back in here, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to turn on or anything. But if you have a blunter pencil, let's see, like this one here, it'll sharpen it to a point. But when you put it back in, it's not going to start sharpening again. So just be careful when you start sharpening that you don't put a lot of pressure on it and push down really hard, because if you do, the sharpener will continue to sharpen that pencil. It will eat that pencil. So make sure that you're very careful on how much pressure you put on it. Another question that a lot of people will ask me is, will it sharpen the Caran d'Ache blender? Definitely will. And it's a nice smooth sharpen. So it's very, very smooth, very clean, and it did not chunk it up at all, which is awesome. All right, guys, with that, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching. I hope this has been educational, entertaining, or at least fun. We have been able to sharpen a couple of pencils to nubs and, not feel bad about it. So my overall impression, first impression of this sharpener is it works very, very well. It does exactly what we want it to do. We want it to sharpen a pencil, and it definitely does that. It doesn't break the pencil, it doesn't tear the pencil, and it works very, very nicely to give you a very clean sharpen. The only things that I will remind you of is do not plug it in when there are batteries in it. There is, from what I understand from the information I have been given, there is a safety thing inside of the motor that does not allow both to be running at the same time. If you are going to take this with you, throw it in your purse, whatnot, make sure your batteries are charged or fresh. Make sure you have good batteries in it. You do not have to sharpen a pencil by putting it down on the desk like this. You don't have to do that. This sharpener will work. I'm going to take another. Let's grab a fresh one, because even though they're not my favorite pencil, breaking them is not always fun. So this one here has a bit of a blunt. So if you put your pencil in this way, and you hold on to both the pencil and the mechanism, it will sharpen. You don't even have to turn the sharpener on. You can just put the pencil in and turn it. However, I don't suggest that. So you can put it in and it stops. So once it goes and does that jittery, like goes jit, it's about to be finished. Once it hits that point, you can turn it back on if you push hard enough, but if you just put it in, just putting it in isn't going to turn that back on. You actually have to shove it in and push really hard for it to restart. So once it's nice and sharp like this, don't shove it all the way in. Just put it in, and if it doesn't start, that means that the pencil is as sharp as it's going to get in that mechanism. So you don't have to put it straight on the desk. You can hold on to it and hold on to your pencil, especially if you are a person like myself that has issues with holding the pencil up and down and having it spin. So if you put it in this way, you have the ability to hold on tighter so that it doesn't turn. What else was I going to tell you about? It's very easy to pop open and clean. Make sure that if you do open it for any reason, such as a broken pencil or anything like that, make sure that you pop it open, empty it out, and then put it back together. It's very easy to go in and out. It's very easy to empty. It doesn't make a mess when you take it apart to empty it either, which is fantastic because I have so many sharpeners that when you go to empty them, they just make a mess everywhere, and this does not, which is fantastic. Um, my goodness, I just moved I put too much pressure, elbow pressure on the mat and moved it. Um, yeah, so far I have sharpened a ton of pencils with this and have yet to have one break inside of it. I have not had a torn wood, even on a Derwent. And with Derwents, they do have a tendency to have an easily torn wood area. So sometimes with the type of wood that Derwent uses, the wood will tear very, very easily. And this just slices through it like butter, which is awesome. All right, with that, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching. I would definitely recommend this sharpener, especially as one for on the go, because it is very small. It does fit in your hand, and even though it is a bit bigger, obviously, than a handheld sharpener, um, with two AA batteries, you have an electric sharpener in the bottom of your purse. It empties very nicely. It does not come apart on its own. You do have to turn it, and it does lock into place. It does have multiple settings, so you can go from very, very sharp to fairly blunt and in between. I have played with all the settings, and they all do seem to work on giving me a sharp to blunt progression on the sharpness. What else was I going to tell you? Yeah, so there will be a discount code below the video that the company has offered to give us. So, of course, if you do decide that you want to purchase this, it will be an affiliate link as well as a discount code. Again, like I said, this is a paid promotion. Well, it is a promotion that they have sent me a product to review, and they are I did not pay for this product. So with that, I'd like to say thank you all very much for watching. Of course, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. Yes, I would definitely encourage people to purchase this product if they're in the line for an electric pencil sharpener that's small to put into their purse. Um, I'm I'm not I'm trying to think of the word and it's not coming to me. But yes, I would say that this is a good product and it is definitely worth a try. With that, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, ring the bell and hit the subscribe. Until next time, bye bye for now.